Hey everybody, welcome back to I Know a Guy. If you're new here, my name's Anthony. I'm a business profit advocate. Here we interview entrepreneurs, business owners, professionals, and people just doing cool things. For example, today we're meeting with Joe Nicasio. He's the founder and of the Employer Escape Plan, and he's coached over 4,000 people in over 400 industries in the last 25 years. How you doing this morning, Joe?
I am too blessed to be stressed.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Where are you calling in from?
I'm currently near Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay. How's Texas today?
We had thunderstorms, lightning, thunder, rainstorm last night, but it's going to be about 75 today. So it's not nice. I like this moderate weather.
Yeah, I'm a bit north of you. We caught that same thunderstorm. We had, I think, one tornado warning pretty near. It's been a crazy year for weather. We've had so many tornadoes this year. Yeah, I think we got that same bit. It rained hard for a little bit, but only right when I needed to leave. So, of course. So, what do you do for fun down there? I've been down in that neck of the woods a couple times visiting friends and stuff. But if somebody's new to the area, what do you recommend people do first?
Oh, I don't know. I think my definition of fun might be different from others. I like learning. I like cooking. I like going to church. I like working out. So it's a little mix of things. Oh, there's a Six Flags here. You can always do that. There's plenty of things to do. Go to, what is it? Airbnb experiences, and there's all kinds of things you can do.
Okay. You mentioned cooking. I like cooking as well. What do you like to cook?
Just something healthy, a little filet, bacon wrap filet. I've been doing sorghum pasta, which is a different kind of grain that's more gut friendly. Usually it's like salad and a protein, it's veggies and a protein. I keep it simple.
You had me with bacon wrap filet, so that sounds good. I think we're doing steaks tonight, so I don't. It's not gonna be bacon wrap filet, but I might have a side of bacon with. No, anyway. What can you tell us about what you
Trying
do?
to grow my own food, but I'm having trouble finding bacon seeds.
You know what? They have them all up here in Iowa. We have so many bacon seeds up here. Anyway, so what can you tell us about what you're doing? You've been doing it for 25 years. Obviously, you're pretty good at it. So,
Yeah, most of the things I do, I'm a badass business consultant. I know a lot about marketing. I learned from Jay Abraham. I learned from the best. And most of the people I work with are making 3 to 5 to 700,000 a year in their business, and they want to go to the next level. Maybe they're aiming for 1 or 3 or 5 million and beyond. And that's I still work with that group of people, but over the years I just kept running into people who said, I don't make that kind of money. I don't have my own business. Matter of fact, I have a job and it sucks. And I realized every day millions of people are driving reluctantly to a job they don't want to go to, and they're praying, dear God, send me a mentor to show me how to start my business the right way. And so that was really the genesis of Employee Escape Plan. And I'm that mentor. And I prayed about it. Should I help these people? Because it's a little bit tougher to work with people starting at zero than people that have a more established business. So the answer I got, the prompting, you pray. Prayer is talking to God, and meditation is listening for his answers. And I got some answers back that if I don't help these people, nobody else will. So Employee Escape Plan is really about helping people create a business that works and creating a happiness centered business. I think a lot of, so if I'm going to help you escape your soul sucking job, I don't want you to end up creating a business that fails, and I don't want you to have a soul sucking business. Number one is, let's 9 out of 10 people fail, but not on my watch. So I created a system, which is my bulletproof business bliss blueprint. Let's create a bulletproof business. If you do these 9 things, you'll have a pretty solid business. And business bliss, let's be very intentional that you have a happiness centered business. So you wake up every day saying, instead of saying, I don't want to go to work, you say, I love what I do and I'm good at what I'm doing and I'm using my superpowers and I'm making a big difference and I'm improving lives. And wow, I even make decent money doing it. And so I created this process, which is this diagram here. The biggest reason people fail in business is they don't get in the right business in the first place for their personality. Too many people go into business and they chase the money, but they end up like not really enjoying what they do. And so you can make all the money in the world, but if you don't enjoy it, you're going to burn out. So I created a special program to start people the right way. And Business Wisdom Quest is just all about doing a deep dive into your personality, your talent, your skills, your abilities, your knowledge, your passions, your proficiencies, etc., and taking the time to choose your business wisely. Once we make the right business choice, then we can build it on a bulletproof structure so that you can eventually escape that soul sucking job. And then once you're making enough money in that and you want to scale it to the next level, then you can do that normal business coaching I do with the people. Let's get you to that 3 or 5 or 700K a year level so you can continue to scale and grow.
that's awesome. Yeah, praying for something like, should I help these people? It's almost always going to come back at, yeah, you probably should. And then what I've found in my experiences is praying on something like that. It's you're more asking, am I going to be okay if I focus on helping these people? And like you said, meditating and listening for that answer.
And if I just helped the people starting from zero, it would be a struggle for me. But I mix that in with the people. So most of the people that hire me at 6 months is 10K with a guarantee you'll make your money back and double it. If you don't, I keep working with you until you do. So I've actually designed it in such a way that the client almost always win. And I can use that same pricing model for somebody that's already in business or a startup. But I've also created a program. I've got a program as little as $99 a month. It's my Saturday morning group coaching. And I'm there every week to support people who are very early in their entrepreneur development. So I got a full spectrum of solutions. It's really just 3 or 4 things. It's really one-on-one coaching or group. And I think at the end of the day, it's if you want it's available, we just need to customize a program that's going to work for you. But you're right. If I just help the people starting at zero, it would be a real struggle for me. But I'm grateful that I have had people. I got a couple brothers in Scotland that hired me that between the two of them, their annual income's like 120 million a year. And they hire me because I bring something to the table that they don't have. Les Brown, the motivational speaker, hired me and I coached him and lived with him for 4 months, coached him and his family. So I've worked with multimillionaires, but I've also worked with a lot of people that are starting early. The key is I will help you solve your problems and you will pay me gratefully and generously. It's giving and receiving are connected. I don't just give to people that don't give back unless that's the spirit tells me to. That's another prompting thing, but I'm running a business.
Yeah, and you're not going to be able to help very many people if you can't afford to eat. So it is an important side of it. So you do the entire spectrum from start to because everybody at every level is going to need help at some point. So what's your favorite thing about what you're doing?
The fulfillment. I coach somebody and I say, hey, here's the activity that one of the things I'm really good at is identifying what's the constraint. So if your business is like you have a 10-lane freeway, 10 lanes wide, and then everything narrows down into 1 lane, you're going to really be limited by the constraint, And so my ability to identify constraints and then say, how do we open up the bandwidth of the constraint, fix the constraint is really cool. One of the things that's really fulfilling for me is when I make a recommendation to a client and they come back a week or two later and they say, hey, I did what you recommended and it worked. It made me a bunch of money. That's a pretty cool thing. Also, when I'm coaching somebody that never had a business before, they never sold before, and they come back and say, hey, Joe, I just made my first sale in the business you helped me start. But I got to say, Anthony, the one thing that really fills my soul is I get that call. Hey, Joe, I'm making enough money in the business you helped me start. I was able to give my notice to quit my job today. That one really warms my heart.
That is awesome. Once you get that taste of entrepreneurship as well, you want to stick to it. So getting that first taste and being like, now I can do this full time, that would be
And
powerful.
there's something too. It's like most people that are entrepreneurs, they're entrepreneurs for themselves. But I am an entrepreneur maker. I've started my own stuff several times, but this giving to others and helping them start their business. Success is a me thing. I made some money, but fulfillment is a we thing. Yes, I made some money and I made some people's lives a whole lot better. And that it's not just about making money. It's about I get to actually change lives, improve lives, and get those big giant thank yous. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Joe. I just got a YouTube clip from an interview I did a year ago with a client, Richard Kaufman. He has a top 0.5% podcast, meaning he's getting over 1 million downloads a month of his podcast. He's right up there with Jordan Harbinger and Gary Vee. It's in terms of his viewership. But when he came to me, he wasn't making any money with his podcast. And so I helped him identify. We've been working together a little bit over a year. And I talked to him last month and his business, first of all, his business has grown 500%. Secondly, he wasn't making money as a podcaster when I first started working with him. But in the 1 year that since I started working with him, he's taken 5 vacations. And he's getting ready to go on a 6th one, a cruise. He's been on 2 cruises. He's getting ready to take his 3rd cruise. And he would not have been able to do that if it wasn't for helping him do that. So I get to change lives and it's pretty yummy.
Yeah, I can imagine. So you've been doing it for 25 years. You've also obviously had some hard learned lessons over those years. What's something that if you were starting out today, you would do different?
I made $1 million and lost everything. And then I became a business coach. I failed in a pretty painful way back in the late 80s, early 90s. And that was before I met Jay Abraham. But I used to think that the purpose of a business was to make money. I used to think that the technology was the basis of a business, and it's really not. One of the things that just changed my life was this understanding that the purpose of a business is to create a customer. It's the human beings that we serve. And one of the mistakes people make is they fall in love with their product or service, and we really need to fall in love with our customers. I know that you do health insurance and you help people set up a health plan for people, but it's not, the value is not in the health plan. The value is in the improved conditions of the people that buy that health plan. And when we start, a lot of people are like AI is the solution to everything. It's like AI without customers is going to leave you broke. The purpose of a business is to create that human beings are the ones that pull out their wallet and they put that credit card on the table. And so for me, not having that customer centric focus really was the reason I failed in the first place. And when I started shifting to, I'm here to make, I give to human beings, and it's having a value proposition where I actually fall in love with you, and I'm here to help your life better, make your life better. I'm here to be a massive contribution to the clients I serve. And when you give in a big way, you can receive in a big way. But so it's really all about shifting from I do this and we do this to here's what you get and here's how you'll be better off. And I really have a real focus. I genuinely want my customers to win and not just win small in the biggest way we possibly can do that collaboratively. And so by helping other people win, it just comes back to you in a really beautiful way.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's really good. That's really good advice. So you've helped people in over 400 industries. What's the commonality between all of them that would make a good introduction for you? Somebody that you're going to be able to help.
I think the commonality is they all want to build a better business. So they want to build a better business from scratch, or they already have a business. They want to build a better business. I think the common thread in all of our spending is we spend money on things that make our life better. So think about it. Why do you spend money on housing? Life is better to have a roof over your head than to be homeless. And by the way, one of the things I teach all my clients is to say, thank God I'm rich. If you got a roof over your head, thank God I'm rich. I'm not homeless. So counting your blessings is definitely a form of wealth, and we should count that blessing. So we spend money on housing. We spend money to get our brakes fixed on our car. Why do we do that? Because life is better when we have brakes that work than when brakes don't work. Why do you spend money going to the nice restaurant? Life is better to eat out once in a while, a professional chef prepared meal. Gourmet is nice once in a while. Hey, why do you spend money on the Jack Daniels? You think your life is better. We could have a little debate on that. That's a perceived value versus a real value. If you think about it, all businesses, human beings spend money on things that make our life better. Okay, so now if you want to start a business, you need to flip the cards now. Why are people going to spend money on you? Because you're doing something that really improves people's lives. You're making people's lives better. So when people buy that policy and they have that peace of mind knowing I can go to the doctor anytime and have my healthcare needs taken care of because I bought a policy from Anthony. It's really important that no matter what business you're in, you identify who is your customer and how are you making their life better, and how can we communicate that so people understand it, appreciate it, and desire it. Also, I think it's super important that a common thread in almost all businesses is this need to, people don't buy logically, they buy emotionally. So you need to have the logic and the emotion. But if you don't get people a little bit emotionally charged, you're not very effective as a marketer. I think of it, somebody taught me this several years ago, that it's called the doggy dinner bowl effect. So good marketing is like your dog has been playing all day. Now your dog is sleeping. And you go in the kitchen at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you crack open the dog food can. Is the dog still sleeping? No, they're jumping up and down. They're salivating. They're wagging their tail. Okay, they're excited for that food. Okay, they're looking at you like a starving Ethiopian child that hasn't eaten in a month. And good marketing creates that emotional excitement where people are salivating and wagging their tails because they see, wow, this will really make my life better. And if you're not really communicating it in a way that gets people a little bit emotionally charged, you're going to be limited on the volume of business you do. But if you can get people a little bit excited, your business is going to grow proportionally, because buying is an emotional process. And if we don't stir up some emotions, and the thing is, we live in a world of problems. Okay, there's two kinds of problems: the ones people will pay to solve and the ones they won't pay to solve. And so if we align our business doing something that solves a problem, and I make coffee mugs up for my clients, it says, I will solve your problems and you will pay me gratefully and generously. And if you're not grateful and if you're not generous, I don't have to solve your problems. I'm willing to walk away. And that's how business works. I'll do something for you in exchange for you paying me. And if you don't want to pay me, I don't have to solve your problems. There's two kinds of giving. There's spiritual giving, temporal giving. Temporal giving is business. Spiritual giving is just giving out of the goodness of your heart. But I don't think you can give away healthcare insurance policies for free. It's business.
It's generally frowned upon, but there's a lot there. I'm gonna have to go back through this a couple times and try and absorb all that. So there's a lot of things you said that I haven't thought of exactly that way. So that was really interesting. Okay. So what's a good relationship, a power partner look like for you? Who do you synergize well with else in the business world where you might be able to help them in some areas, they could help you and vice versa?
Yeah, I think my ideal client is somebody who has a business or wants to start a business. If you know somebody that hates their job, that's certainly a lot of people, maybe an employment agency, somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I don't really want a traditional job. I want to do my own thing." I would say an accountant, accountant, a bookkeeper that's looking at the books and saying, "You're making a living, but you could do better." And they know the truth of the numbers and they say, "Maybe you need to get some help with your marketing." So I think accountants, people in the, I think we all know somebody that's had the bad job experience. Maybe it's look in the mirror. Yeah, a good partner. A good partner is somebody that knows people that look, it starts with who's my ideal client, people that are frustrated because their business isn't growing fast enough. If you know somebody that they're frustrated because their business isn't growing fast enough. It's really weird. I think a lot of people look at me as a nice to have versus a got to have. And the truth is, I learned from Jay Abraham to Gary Halbert teaches this idea of Operation Money Suck. It's you're walking down the street and you're seeing problems and you're going, would somebody pay to solve that problem? I see profits hiding in almost every business. When I look at a business, even successful businesses, they're all making some kind of marketing mistake. So my ideal customer is somebody that's humble enough to say, I'm doing good, but I could be doing better. And it's in that moment of humility, that's where my ideal client shines from. Unfortunately, a lot of people think I'm an entrepreneur. I know what I'm doing. I can't learn from somebody else. And just like religion comes to people who have a broken heart and a contrite spirit, I think it's also true in people that are humble enough to say, I don't have all the answers. And here's the thing about humility is a lot of people look at humility almost like it's a weakness, but humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking more of others. It's realizing that other people have expertise that I don't have. In the scriptures, the meek shall inherit the earth, and meekness isn't weakness. Okay. And I've actually come up with a little way to rephrase that. The emotionally intelligent will inherit the earth.
That's an awesome way to think about it. I've never said a lot of things that I'm gonna have to go back and listen to a couple of times because I haven't quite thought of it that way. That is really good. Being okay. I'm gonna have to go back again. But awesome. Okay. So is there anything that I failed to ask that you wanted to mention? Anything that I missed?
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that'll say, "Hey, I'll help you grow your business," but they have an agenda. So the branding guy wants to sell you branding services, or the sales trainer wants to sell you sales training services. And then there's a lot of really cool stuff out there that's really valuable, and maybe you should hire some of those people. The radio advertising guy wants to sell you radio ads, and the SEO guy wants to sell you SEO. And I think instead of asking where should I advertise or where should I market, you should really be asking is what's the best solution for my business right now? So what's unique about my agenda isn't to shove you through a certain product. My agenda is to help you create a business that works at a higher level. It's not about one size fits all in terms of solutions. I'm a business problem solver, okay, as a metaphor. So if you think of your business as like a machine, okay, you have inputs and you have outputs. And a lot of times you're putting a lot of inputs in and you're not getting the quantity or quality of outputs out. And so the real question is what needs to be fixed in the machine. And so people always come to me as like, should I do this or should I do this? And one of my common response is it's malpractice to give a prescription without a proper diagnosis first. So instead of me imposing a sales pitch on you, what I do is I put on my diagnostic hat. We look at your business. We look at inputs. We look at outputs. We look at your branding, we look at your offers, we look at your storytelling, we look at your messaging, and we look at what's working and what's not working. And there's a lot of ways to skin a cat, although cats never like to be skinned. Okay. I guess I just want to leave on one point, and that three rules of selling. first rule of selling is always have your client's best interest at heart. So my agenda is irrelevant. The most important agenda for me to have is to have your best interest in your heart. The second thing is what's in your best interest might be a little uncomfortable. And the third rule of selling is people will fight like hell to stay in their broken, dysfunctional state rather than make a change. They will fight to stay in their comfort zone. And so my question for you is if you've been stuck and you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So my challenge for you is, are you willing to be a little uncomfortable today so you can actually hit your goals and your dreams and your desires and your aspirations tomorrow? And if you are, I want to invite you to reach out to me.
Yeah, there's definitely truth there. It takes pain in order to change. And if you're comfortable and you just want to sit in it, even if it's not working, you're absolutely going to sit in it. But anyway, so there's a bunch of people out there that definitely need to talk to you. What's the best way that they get a hold of you to do that?
I think the easiest way is just go to employeeescapeplan.com. Very bottom of the page is a calendar. Grab a spot. Let's talk. Let's see if or how I can help you. I'm not a pushy salesperson. I'm here to find the truth of a good fit. If the truth is it's a good fit for me to help you, great. Put something together. If the truth is it's not a good fit, I win every time I get to the truth. So I'm here to help the people that want to be helped. And I love helping people grow their business. I hate seeing people struggle. I hate seeing people fail. And that's why I created my coaching service and employee escape plan so that you can have more fun making money. I think far too many people are like saying, I got to go to work. And there's a lot of cringe pain involved in that languaging, but let's shift it. So let's go have fun making money. Let's do what you love, share the love, receive the love. Let's find a way for you to enjoy what you do more, get more done in less time, make more money, and have fun in the process. If you're not having fun, you're doing something wrong. And if you're going to build a business, you might as well enjoy it. If you want to have more fun making money and turn it into a fun game versus a painful, cringeworthy exercise, then let's talk.
Perfect. If anybody would like to get a hold of Joe, I absolutely recommend that you do it. Yeah, I can't talk to him without walking away with a couple nuggets that I have to go think on for a little bit to catch up. But if you are a little shy and you want an introduction, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to make that three-way introduction for you. If anybody out there would like to be interviewed as well, feel free to reach out to me. I'll share my link tree along with Joe's website in the description. So my calendar link and all my socials are there. So feel free to.
I just want to acknowledge you, Anthony. There's a lot of people selling insurance and Anthony sells insurance, but this thing, I know a guy, is really a great way to add value. You're adding value to me by sharing me with your crowd. And not everybody's ready to buy an insurance policy or whatever, but I think everybody that that they're doing cool stuff in the world. I think what you're doing with I Know a Guy and this podcast and what you're doing shines the light on other people. Everybody's got some magic, and if you can just share other people's magic with the world, you're doing a wonderful thing. And guess what? Business is coming from it. So you're doing great work, and I just want to acknowledge you.
I appreciate that. There's definitely truth there. There's too many people out there doing cool things that people don't know about. So if I could help even 1% of them get a little bit wider reach, then I'm going to absolutely do that. I think it's Zig Ziglar. Help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. Just try and add value to everybody. But I really appreciate you coming on, Joe. Appreciate your time. I hope we all get out there and meet some new people today. But otherwise, everybody have a good rest of your day.